My name is Jessica and I have no idea what I'm doing. Today I'm going to continue my review of the Morphe James Charles palette. This is not something I would have bought on my own simply because it's very neutral up here and I didn't need it, but it was gifted to me by a friend for late graduation and late birthday, so thank you. I started testing it out already, but I was taking too long, the video was getting too long, so I decided to split it up into two sections. Today I think I'm going to play with the green eyeshadows, and this shade here, it's very interesting. It's like a yellow, but kind of muted and a little peachy almost. I feel like this is something that someone with a warm tan skin tone might set their concealer with. Does that make sense? That kind of shade. So I'm going to use it. It's called Tune, and I'm going in with my fluffy brush from Wish, and we're going to see how that goes as a transition shade for me. It's interesting. It's not coming out as opaque as I want, so I'm going to go in with my BH Cosmetics brush with a 3 on it and see if I can get more pigment out of it. I mean, it's not terribly far from my own skin tone in terms of eyeshadow. Like, obviously as a foundation for me that wouldn't work, but in terms of eyeshadow, it's not that far from my skin tone. Maybe next I'll play with this one here. It's like an orangey kind of color. Code James. So I'm going to take the same brush. I mean, this is a very basic shade, something that a lot of you will go for. I'm going to put that in my crease. Orangey warm brown. Actually, I feel like that's a little brighter than it looks in the pan, but I also used it with the Tune shade, which I'm going to put some more of on so we don't lose it. Then I'm taking my IBY crease brush and I'm going into this deeper green down here called Daddy. Alrighty then. And I'm going to put that in the deepest part of my crease. Ooh. That is pigmented. Very nice. And I'm going to try my best to blend it with a clean brush, but green and orange don't exactly blend together. That's no fault of the shadow. I think we kind of lost the orange anyway now. Next I'm going in with this deep cool tone shimmery green called Cape Cod, and I'm going to put that on the outer third. That's pretty. Kind of reminds me of something you'd find in the ColourPop Just My Luck palette. Now I'm going to use Guac, which is, look at this, like twisting my arm to show you this. It's another green. It's like a mid to dark green, but it's more of like a olive. So I don't know how well that contrast is going to show up, but I'm going to try it anyway. And that's going on the inner 2/3 of my lid. And then I'm going to blend it into the other green. Not bad. There is a difference. And again, that's no fault of the shadows. I'm just pairing things together that may or may not be paired together well. Should I make a halo eye out of this? Yeah, why the heck not? I'm going to go back into Cape Cod and I'm going to put that on the inner third of my lid. These greens are very pigmented, by the way. I'm going to just put a little bit of Guac again in the center, just to try and really make that difference as much as possible. And then, I don't know, let's try something different. I'm going in with my BH Cosmetics brush with a 5 on it, and I'm gonna go into B, which is this bright matte yellow. And I'm gonna see if I can put that on my inner corner. Is that something people do? They have a matte yellow inner corner. And then I'm going back into Daddy, and I'm going to put that on the outer third of my lower lash line. And then I'm going to take Social Blade, which is this matte lime green, and I'm going to put that on like the middle third of my lower lash line, blending it in with the darker green and the yellow. And then I'm just taking my IBY crease brush and just fixing this up a little bit. To finish off, I'm going to take my dollar store brush and go into Ring Light, which is this light white gold kind of color. It's a shimmer. And I'm gonna put that on my brow bone. Yeah, I like that. And maybe the tiniest bit of that, that's pretty, in the very center of my lid. How's that? I'm trying to get creative. Some of you may think because I do colorful eyeshadow, it's already creative, but I tend to do very monochromatic looks sometimes, as you see. I was hoping I wouldn't do that in this palette. I was hoping to kind of pull from all different parts of it, but I don't know. I just keep gravitating toward the same like color families to create a look. Alright, that is today's finished look. I like that. I think the greens were good quality. I do wish there was a lighter shimmery green in there. I mean, you have this like mint green blue shade, so I guess you could use that. I think it's nice that there's a darker green and a lime green in here. I think those performed well. The yellow seemed to be okay. This one wasn't terribly pigmented, but it could just be my skin tone, and maybe if you used it more like on the lid, packed on, maybe it would look different. This shade was fine, it's just not one of my kinds of shades. And I really liked Ring Light. I think that's very pretty and also had good quality. Alright, once again I'm going to try to do this quick to save time and because my virtual karate class is soon. I'm going to start today with canvas, as you've seen me do before, with my dollar store brush, just to set my eyeshadow primer and crease to brow bone. I think today I'm going to play with this orangey shade called 518. It's a bright light yellow orange, and I'm going to use that with my fluffy brush from Wish, and that's going to be my transition shade. Ooh, I like that. Like macaroni and cheese kind of color. And I'm just going to intensify it with my BH Cosmetics brush with a 3 on it. Same color. And then with a clean brush, just trying to blend it out a little. Then I think I'm going to use Mary, which is an interesting shade. It's like brown, but it's kind of mauve, almost berry toned. I don't know. I'm going to use my IBY crease brush for that. And I'm going to put that in my crease. Alright, how can I not try out this vibrant red called You're Kidding? And I'm going to try that with my BH Cosmetics brush with a 6 on it. I'm going to try to put that really deep in the crease. Wow, that is a nice red. I just, once again, hooded eyes, not much space here. Trying to use a few different shades, but they don't exactly all fit. So I'm just gonna kind of backtrack a little bit to see if we can really see all three shades. Kind of. That's actually really nice. I like that. I think for my outer corner, I'm going to use Shook, which is like this shimmery berry tone. Let's see how that comes out. It's coming out a little more red-brown than berry on my finger, but let's see. Then I'm going to use Literally, which is this shimmery pinky peach coral kind of shade. And I'm going to put that on the inner 2/3 of my lid. Yeah, as I expected, this one is not as impressive in like shimmer quality. It's more of a true shimmer satin. And like I said before, you know me, I don't like being subtle when it comes to shimmers and colorful shades. Then I think for the lower lash line, I'm going to give this shade another shot. Love that. And I'm going to take my BH Cosmetics brush with a 5 on it. And I'm just going to use that alone across the lower lash line. It does come off brighter on the eyes than it does on a finger for a swatch, but it's pretty. To top everything off, I'm going to use my dollar store brush and combine Ring Light and Sister, which are these two lighter shimmers at the top. Yeah, the Ring Light shade is basically taking over. The Sister shade has to be packed on with a finger. That I learned the other day. Oh well. Alright, that is today's finished look. No time for blush, bronzer, highlighter, etc. But I like it. Something different, something fiery. A lot of you will probably like it. I definitely like the mattes better than the shimmers. And that kind of seems to be a running theme in this palette. Some of them are just more subtle than I would want. But the 3 mattes that I used in my crease that you kind of can't see simply because of my hooded eyes, I really did like each of them. Alright, I am now going to attempt to swatch everything in this palette for you. So we have Canvas, Ring Light, So Good, 518, Rusted, Halloween, Wig, Tea, I feel like the swatches of the shimmers are coming out better than they did on my eyes. Punch Me, Sister, Mary, Literally, You're Kidding, Shook, Boutique, Benny, Flashback, Face, Tune, Code James, %off, No Beans, Spooky, Bee, Guac, Hello, Playground, Brother, Artistry, Love That, Pinkity Drinkity, Social Blade, tried to wash my arm off so that the sunscreen I had on wouldn't affect these. Oops, there's some blue in there, but you did see that on my eye. Daddy, Cape Cod, Cola, Acapella. Let's see, we can do this. And Escape, Single, Skip. There we go, we did it. So here's another look at the more top half of the palette. And then here is the more bottom half. Some of my favorites were definitely Ring Light. I liked this one here called You're Kidding. I liked the ones that I used for the brown look in my first video. For the most part, I really liked the colorful mattes. The colorful shimmers, I mean, this one was okay, the blue one. The purple one was definitely not up to par for me. These were good up here. And I had also mentioned that these two palettes were kind of similar, the Morphe 35B and the Morphe James Charles palette. So I have done some comparison swatches, not too well, but they're here. So everything on this side is from the James Charles palette, and everything on that side is from the Morphe 35B palette. So if you look, there really are some comparable colors, which for me is great because I love the 35B palette so much. I'm very disappointed that they discontinued it, and as that palette ages, mine is already a couple years old, I think I will find some decent replacements in this palette, or at least things that are close enough and with similar quality. There are a few more over here. So once again, everything on that side is James Charles, and everything on this side is Morphe 35B. And then I also thought I saw some similarities between the Too Faced Original Chocolate Bar palette and the James Charles palette. So I have these here as well. So once again, James Charles on that side. Now I have Too Faced on this side. So this shade here, Milk Chocolate, is not quite what I thought these were from the James Charles palette. I'm so out of frame, but it's more important that you see the swatches. But if you combine these two, you can definitely get something close to this. This one is that Triple Fudge shade, or rather this one is. This one's from the James Charles palette. And then down here is Creme Brulee versus Wig. So not quite the same, but very similar. So if for some reason you were eyeing this tone, and this tone, you can get those in the James Charles palette. And if for some reason you were eyeing the ones in the James Charles palette, they are in here. So I guess it depends on what you're looking for. Alright, so final thoughts. This thing is way too big for filming. This has been very difficult to hold it up and show you guys, especially when the names are on this plastic sheet and not down here with the palette. I think overall the quality is really good. The shimmers are a little disappointing, some of them. The mattes, most of them have been fantastic. I mean, I think you guys know some of my favorites were the purple, these blues, the greens, the yellow, I mean the red, the orange, This one down here was interesting too. And I like the cool tone browns. I mean, I used almost everything in here. Actually, out of 39 shades, I only didn't use 5 of them. I didn't use this one, this one, this one, this one, or this one. Are we surprised? No. But I think I did pretty well. Do I still prefer my 35B from Morphe? Yes, I do. But because it's not around anymore, this one does replace some of those shadows. But that being said, hey, I got this for free as a gift from my friend. Thank you very much, friend. And overall, I think it's a good palette and I will be enjoying this. Alright, that's it for today. I hope you have a good day no matter what it is you're doing. Bye! See you next time!